Hello everyone, thank you so much again for joining me and welcome to another lesson. If you're joining for the first time, I hope you enjoy the lesson and you learn something from it. Now in this lesson, we're going to be looking at, there we go, 23 phrasal verbs that use look. And these will be of varying different levels, so from beginner to advanced. So if you want to level up your English using phrasal verbs, then let's start. The first one is an easy one, look after. And this means to be responsible for, to take care of someone or something, to keep someone or something safe. So for example, it could be a child, a person, a pet, etc. I often look after my neighbor's dog while they're away. You're old enough to look after yourself now. You could say this to a child. So someone that has become older, you think they're old enough to stay home by themselves, to look after themselves. Now, if you think about what's going to happen in the future and you want to plan for that, you can look ahead. Imagine you're in a meeting and your boss says, this year was good, but we should look ahead to the sales for next year. It's important to look ahead and plan for any difficulties. The next one is look around, or often shortened to look round. And this has two meanings. So the first meaning is to turn your head so that you can see something. So look around, turn your head. Look around, what can you see? So everyone looked around when they heard the noise. They wanted to see what the noise was. When I looked around, I saw her standing there. So maybe I was waiting for her. Where is she? I looked around. Oh, there she is. The next meaning is to look around or look round something or somewhere. And this means to go to a place or a building and to walk around and see what is there. Let's look around the streets. There might be some interesting shops. In this case, we can also use look around as a noun. So we can say to have a look around or to have a look round. So let's have a look around the streets. There might be some interesting shops. Can I look around the house this afternoon? So imagine you want to buy a house and you've organized with the agent or the owner to go and see the house, to look round the house. The next one is look at, and this has three different meanings. This means to examine something closely or to consider something. Let's look at our options before we make a decision. So you want to think about what you can do before you choose what to do, before you decide what to do. I haven't had time to look at the report yet. So you've been busy, and you haven't had a chance to look at the report, you haven't had a chance or the time to read the report. The next meaning is to think, to consider, or to study something. For example, we need to look at ways to reduce our spending. So we are spending too much money, we are using too much money. We need to reduce our spending, we need to spend less. And we need to look at ways to do that. So we need to study, we need to think about or consider ways to do that. Let's look at how we can help everyone. Of course, that would be a wonderful idea. How can you help everyone? How can you help people? Think about that, consider that, look at some ideas. And the last meaning is to consider something in a particular or a specific way. That's an interesting way to look at the problem. Your point of view, your way of seeing things or considering things, considering the problem in this case, was different to other people's. The next one is look away. Look away. Don't look at the camera, look away. And yes, as you guessed, this means to turn your head. But if you look away from something, you turn your head because you don't want to see it. So it's something bad, something you don't want to see. It could be something upsetting, something disgusting, something that it's just not pleasant. I always have to look away when I have blood taken. I hate needles, so I can't look when they take the blood. I look away. Ugh. How about you? They looked away when they saw the accident. So it wasn't a nice sight, it was upsetting, so they looked away. They didn't want to see it. The next one is look back, and this has two meanings again. Maybe your teacher might say, I recommend you look back at your notes before the test. And this means to look again at what you have written so that you can remember or you are reminded of what you wrote. And the next meaning is to think about something from the past. When I look back on my childhood, I remember how happy I was. Hopefully you have happy memories of your childhood. If you look back, if you remember what your childhood was like, how do you feel? Looking back, I could have done it better. So imagine you were dealing with a problem and you weren't so successful. It could have been better. So looking back, you can see how it could have been better. Hindsight is 20/20, we say. So 20/20 refers to perfect eyesight, perfect vision, and to see something in the past, we can see it perfectly clear. We say hindsight, so looking in the past is 20/20, is clear. The next one, it's not a nice one, and it's to look down on, and it means to think that you are better than someone else. So it's not nice to look down on people. Or he often looks down on people who don't wear fashionable clothes. So maybe he likes to be fashionable, he wears very nice clothes, and if someone doesn't wear those kinds of clothes, he thinks he's better than them. The next one is look for, and this has two meanings as well. The first one is an easy meaning. I'm sure you know this one. It just means to search or to try and find something. So for example, can you help me look for my keys? I don't know where they are. I'm trying to find my keys. The next one is to hope or expect something. So usually some kind of results, success, achievement, so something good that will happen. So imagine the results or your results were not good last month. So this month, I'm looking for some better results this month. So you hope this month you'll be more successful. You will see some improvement. The next one is an easy one. I'm sure you've all heard of this one. To look forward to something. And of course, it means to be excited, to be pleased about something that is going to happen in the future. I'm looking forward to my trip next year. I really am. We all look forward to seeing you. So what's something that you are looking forward to? Now, look in on. Look in on. This means to visit a person or a place, usually for a short time, just to check on them if they are sick or if they need help or something. My friend looks in on her parents every weekend. She's a very good daughter. So she goes and checks, are they okay? Do they need anything? I'll look in on you after work. So imagine you're busy, you're at work, but your friend or a family member needs help. So after work, you'll go and check on them to see if they're okay. You'll look in on them. Now, to look into, so to examine or consider something. This is a big problem, we should look into it. So we need to examine the problem. What can we do to fix it? Let's look into it. I'll look into it and get back to you. So maybe a customer service agent might say this to you when they don't have all of the information they need to give you. They'll go and check the information and they'll get back to you. So they will contact you later when they have the information. Now, look on. And this means to watch something without participating, without joining in. And usually there will be a crowd of people. It might be some event, an accident, something like that. Many people looked on as the building burnt. Everyone just looked on as the man took the money. So they just watched. Nobody did anything to help. The next one is also look on, but look on as, or look upon as well. And this means to think of someone or something as someone or something. I know it sounds complicated, so let's look at the examples. I always look on her as someone I can trust. So she is someone I can trust, someone I can rely on, so I look on her as that thing, as that person. They are looked on as the best people to make the decision. So maybe you have some experts or some very educated or experienced people that are the best people to make this difficult decision. Now we have one more with look on, this time look on with. This means to think about someone or something in a particular way. She looked on his behavior with disbelief. So she couldn't believe how badly he was behaving. He was acting very crazy, maybe jumping on the tables, something like that if you imagine a child. I look on her with admiration for her skill. So she's very good at what she does. She's very skilled, very talented. So I admire her. I think she's wonderful, a very good person for what she can do. I look on her with admiration. Look out! That's the next one. Look out. So of course it's used as a warning. So to warn someone when there's something maybe dangerous that will happen. So look out, that car almost hit you. So be careful when you cross the road. Or someone might say when you're traveling, be careful when you walk around. Look out for pickpockets. And a pickpocket is someone that will take your money or take something from your clothes or from your bag. So often unfortunately, that happens in some tourist areas. Now we have another one with look out, this time look out for. And for this one, there are actually 4 meanings. So stick with me. The first one is to take care of someone and make sure nothing bad happens to them. And this is specifically used with children, so especially at school, maybe an older brother or sister looks out for someone. So they take care of them, they protect them at school, they help them, they do things for them. My brother always looked out for me at school. I don't know about always, but sometimes he did, yes. How about you? Do you have siblings or did you have siblings that looked out for you? Or did you look out for your siblings at school? Or do you still look out for your siblings? Now the next meaning is to try to avoid something bad happening. So to try to stop something bad happening. Check your work carefully. Look out for any mistakes. So maybe your teacher might say this, your boss might say this. Be careful, check your work. Look out for mistakes. In the case of English work, there might be some spelling mistakes, some grammar mistakes, etc. The next meaning is to keep trying to find something or someone. I'll look out for you at the concert tonight. So you know your friend's going to the concert tonight, but you haven't arranged to meet up, but you will look out for them. So at the concert, you will look for them, you will look out for them. You'll try to find them, you'll try to see them. The next meaning, the last meaning for look out for, is a very advanced meaning. You don't hear it so often, but you might hear it sometimes. And it means to think about someone's advantage, often your own, without considering other people. So you might say, look out for yourself. No one else will. So you should take care of yourself, think about your own situation, because nobody is going to help you. Of course, that's not a good situation, and I hope you all have someone that looks out for you. The next one is look over, and this means to examine something to see how it is. Is it good? Is it bad? You need to examine it, you need to check it, you need to look it over. And you might hear this with a doctor. So the doctor might say, let me look over your results. So the doctor wants to check your results before they talk to you about what to do. Hopefully they're good results. Or your teacher or boss might say, I'll look over your work on the weekend. So they didn't have time during the week, maybe the weekend they have some time. They will check your work, they will look over your work. Now look through, and look through has 3 meanings this time. The first one is to ignore or pretend not to see someone. So I went to say hello, but she just looked right through me. And often we use right with this, to look right through someone. To look through someone, to look right through someone. So we emphasize that, look right through. She looked right through me. She didn't notice me. So to look through also means to check or read something quickly, as opposed to look over, which means to check in more detail, to actually pay close attention to that. He looked through the report before giving it to his boss. So he just wanted to check the report quickly. Maybe he checked it in detail before, but he wanted to check it one more time. So he wanted to look through the report before giving it to his boss. And the third meaning for look through is to search with your eyes or your hands. So usually through some container, a bag, for example. So I looked through my bag but I couldn't find my keys. So I was searching through my bag. I was looking through my bag, either with my eyes or feeling with my hands. The next one is a super advanced one and very formal. And it's not used so often, but it's to look to. And this means to think about how to make something better. So we need to look to different methods to fix the problem. So what we tried in the past didn't work. Now we need to look to new or different methods to try to fix the problem. So you want to make it better, you're thinking about how to make it better. The next one is look to for. So really to look to someone for something. So if you need help, advice, guidance or something, you will look to someone for that. I always look to my friends for help. How about you? Who do you look to for help? She looked to her co-workers for advice about her project. So she asked her co-workers if they could help her. The next one has 4 meanings and it's look up. So this, as an advanced expression, often used in business, can mean that something is improving. Some situation, some conditions are improving. Things are looking up. So you might say, our sales figures are increasing. Things are starting to look up. So the company, the business is earning more money. Things are getting better. And it can also mean this. So raising your eyes from a lowered position. Often from reading, look up from reading, or from watching something, look up. He looked up from his book when I asked him a question. Now the next one is a very casual expression you might use with friends or family, and that means to contact someone when you go somewhere, when you visit somewhere. You might look them up. So I might say to my friends overseas, if you come to Australia, look me up. So contact me, maybe we can get together or meet and do something. And the last meaning is, you probably know this one, is to look for information in a book, or these days, of course, online, etc. So maybe some of the words from today, you can look up in a dictionary, look up in an online dictionary, or look up on the internet. Whew, it's difficult with those prepositions. And the last phrasal verb for today, thank you so much for staying with me, is to look up to someone. And this means to respect or admire someone. So it could be a parent, a teacher, grandparent, a friend, a business person, a celebrity, someone you admire, you respect. So at school, at university, I always looked up to my teachers, or she looks up to her grandmother. How about you? Who's someone you look up to? Okay, thank you again so much for watching. And again, I hope you made it to the end of the video. And as always, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video or if you learned something. And I'd love to hear your comments below about any ideas you have or using the phrasal verbs. Any comments, I would really like to read them. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you next time.